Purdue and Northwestern coming up on Saturday. We got Zach Reeder on the line from fifth quarter college football here at Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football. We would ask that you would smash the like button and subscribe right here and lock it in for college football coverage every day, meaning just not in the season, every day, all year, all the time. All right. Purdue, I thought until last Saturday that they were a pretty good football team. Their record may not have shown it. For anybody out there that watched the Minnesota game, now Minnesota is not a very good team as opposed to what they were last year, but maybe Purdue should have had a bigger lead. But they had a would-be touchdown reception with about 25 seconds left that would have won the game. But there was a phantom pass interference call that pretty much took away the win there against the Gophers. They beat Iowa the first game of the season. They took Northwestern to the wire. Two of the probably four best teams in the league. But here in the last few weeks, not playing as well. They're trying to figure things out at quarterback as well with Aiden O'Connell and Jack Plummer. And they've had injuries and they've had poor play that have, again, caused Jeff Brom to waver back and forth. They may have arguably the best wide receiver core in the Big Ten with, of course, Rondell Moore, but he opted out early. And then he had about a mystery situation, came back, played a few games, and then we got David Bell, who's one of the best in the Big Ten as well with 43 catches. But Purdue comes in as a pretty formidable opponent. What your thoughts about the Boilers?
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I think what you're going to see is you're going to see a team. I was reading stuff about, the Rondell Moore situation. It was interesting, but I think he's good and back now. But you're going to see a Purdue team that they like to throw the ball, whether it's Plummer or O'Connell. It's been Plummer lately with the injury to O'Connell. But Plummer's stepped in and played well. And they've actually ran the ball better than I thought. Alexander Horvath is basically a fullback back there at 6'3", 230. So he's not easy to tackle. You're going to have to wrap up and execute just like you did against Iowa. But they have a more formidable offensive attack, with those receivers, and David Bell's out there, Milton Wright, Payne Durham, all those guys outside of Rondell Moore are viable weapons in this offense. So it's going to be difficult to stop this team, but Rutgers was able to get a few stops. I thought that they were really aggressive on the defensive side, not letting Purdue get those. Purdue loves to throw little quick passes to their receivers and David Bell and Rondell Moore, because when they get those guys in those quick passes, they're getting them out in space. And that's all you got to do is get those guys out in space, because they'll make a man or two miss. So the Huskers are going to have to play aggressive on defense, just like they did against Iowa. They're going to have to be up in your face, and they give another effort like they did against Iowa. They're going to give their offense a chance against a much less daunting task of the Purdue defense, which we saw just miserably fall apart last week against Rutgers.
Everybody, again, knows about Rondell Moore, one of the best in the business from the time he stepped on the field as a freshman. He's got 22 catches. David Bell, again, for anybody that doesn't watch Purdue football or keep an eye out, he's one of the top 5 receivers in the league, something in that range, 43 catches, 7 touchdowns. Even Milton Wright with 21 catches is a really good player. They're athletic, and again, they're not afraid to throw the ball 50 or 55 times if needed. And Horvath actually comes out of the backfield and catches some balls. I watched the game a few weeks ago where he had 10 receptions. He's got 26 on the season. And again, he's an old school guy, as Zach mentions, lining up there at the running back position and just barreling over people as like a fullback who is their main option out of the backfield. Scott Frost, of course, addressed the media, Zach, this week, and I know one of the themes that caught your ear was just him basically defending the program, his approach, his credibility, and what he believes is eventually going to be a successful story.
Yeah, and, I find it interesting. I usually watch a lot of the post games. These last 2 weeks I've actually tuned out. It's gets very repetitive when you're losing, like you have over years and years, because you say, like, we got to get this fixed, this isn't working, it's my fault, and it gets really repetitive, and it can definitely gets on my nerves. I'm sure it gets on others. And I found it really interesting this week, finally saying something different when he said, I've had the state of Nebraska doubt me once as a player. The state of Nebraska, before he won a national championship, they didn't think he was going to be anything at quarterback. and they doubted him. He won a national title, and he's basically doubling down right now and saying, I've been doubted once before. I'll go get it now. And, that kind of gives you it's tough, coming from a coach because, it's not just like, oh, he's going to go do it. His players got to go do it, but he's got to do the job coaching. And, I think it gives you a little bit of confidence. So I'm kind of excited to see where that goes.
Scott Frost at 10-19 through 29 games at Nebraska after, of course, 4-8, 5-7, now sitting at 1-4 in this very strange 2020 campaign with hopefully 2 games to play. And then we'll see how the bowl season shapes up with everyone being eligible, but only so many bowl slots. So not everyone's going to get to play that wants to play. And there's probably going to be some eligible teams out there that don't opt to play. So that should be an interesting process to see play out as well. Zach Reeder covers Nebraska football for Fifth Quarter College Football. Please join him right there. You see the URL on the banner. Zach, we appreciate you stopping by. Hope to get you on board here on Thursday night. Want to remind everyone that we've got Nebraska Live coming your way Thursday night, 6 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Central.